Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, the Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we get into it, I want you to do me one small favor. I want you to hit that like button. I definitely want you to subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to know when the next video is going to drop, hit the notification bell. All right, let's get right into it. The New York Knicks is about to destroy everything they did so far. I mean, I love the Jalen Brunson move. I actually, like, if you've seen my video in the past, when I started talking about, I said Jalen Brunson is going to make the all-star team with the New York Knicks. All right, this Donovan Mitchell thing, like I said, the Knicks are doomed. You've seen the title. I think it would doom the Knicks. I mean, either way, I mean, if we get him, I think it would really hurt the Knicks in the future. I'm gonna be honest, all right? And let me break down a scenario, but right after is I mean, as a Knicks fan, it's very I can't even put it in words to be honest, because I want my team to be good, you know what I'm saying? And I know y'all want the team to be good as well. But like I said, at what cost? I'm just getting flashbacks of Carmelo Anthony. And I love having Carmelo on this team. I just thought that, like everybody saying, everybody knew if we had just waited a year, we could have got him for nothing. Because Denver would have been in a position that he's going to leave. You know what I'm saying? He already made it known he wanted to go to the Knicks. And in my opinion, this is the same thing over. Deja vu. Okay, you're not hearing Donovan Mitchell come out saying anything. He has not as outspoken as Carmelo was back then. But just think about this, all right? Think about it. They're willing to trade him. Not only that, Donovan Mitchell have a 15% trade kicker that if he got traded, Utah would have to pay 15% of his salary. He's willing to waive that. So what do that tell you? That tell you that he went out of Utah. You know what I mean? They have to come to some type of agreement. So right there, I think Leon Rose had the upper hand. And all these picks that everybody's talking about, the Knicks have to give up. I don't think so. Just by that scenario that I just mentioned right there. We all know how shrewd Danny Ainge can be, but I think Leon Rose can walk away on top of this deal. He just have to stay pat. If okay, we're already hearing rumors that Miami is jumping ship of the Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes. They about to just focus on Kevin Durant. And we also heard rumors that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving is going to stick it out one more year in the Brooklyn Nets. Like, I don't know. I can't predict what's going to really happen because it's the off season, and this when all the rumors just start flying around. We already seen what's been mentioned out there, but I'm not totally convinced on Donovan Mitchell, and saying I know a lot of you have heard Kendrick Perkins, but I'm going to play it again for you. Give me a second. Here we go, Kendrick Perkins.
Can you build a franchise around Donovan Mitchell?
Absolutely not, Molly. You cannot. And look, it's no disrespect to Donovan Mitchell, right? I think he's a terrific player. But is he a number one option type guy? Is he a guy that could take your franchise to the NBA Finals?
I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to say
the championship? Hell.
And I ain't even let him get to say it because I'm going to say I'll finish from hell no. And what Perk mean by that is, come on, he already in the league going on 5 years. He's not a consistent player. As good as he is, yes, but he's not consistent. So we're gonna give up button stars. Because in my opinion, Emmanuel Quickland is a rising star. Obi Toppin is a rising star. And y'all seen my videos about Quentin Grimes. Like they compared this man to Klay Thompson. I think the Knicks have a nice, solid, young nucleus. And I don't think we should give any one of these players away. I'm just being honest with you. And if you think about Danny Ainge and how he built Boston, he may not be in Boston no more. He's in Utah, but he didn't give away the main core that they was building around. And look how Boston is standing right now. And that's Tatum, that's Smart, and that's Brown. And throughout the years when Danny Ainge was over there in Boston, you heard the rumors and rumblings of them wanting to get rid of Smart, and they didn't get rid of Smart. You know what I'm saying? I had a talk with a co-worker today, and he was talking about how the Knicks do not develop their talent. And I was arguing, but to a point, he's right. He's exactly right. We don't develop our own talent. Now, we have some nice pieces right now. And I'm not saying if Donovan Mitchell don't come over and he won't add to that. I'm saying if we give up them pieces, like I said, you seen the thumbnail. Let's finish listening to Big Perk one, then we can get on to it.
No, and there's no disrespect to them, but just think about the Utah Jazz and why they got to this point where they had to break up the team, why they had to trade their 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and Rudy Gobert. Okay, they had to trade them because guess what? It's time and time again we saw the Utah Jazz go into the regular season, have great success, and then what happened in the postseason? They failed. The Utah Jazz had one of
the over
for
the
last
Knicks, nothing would change.
Years, they had one of the most complete
now,
rosters
this is my
in the
point.
NBA.
Listen,
when you
right
talk
here.
about depth, you talk about Mike Conley, you talk about Bogdanovich, who's a sniper who averaged 20 points per game, a guy that could play the 3 or 4 and mix it up. You had Royce O'Neal, who's considered a 3-and-D guy. You added Jordan Clarkson, who's a guy that won 6th Man of the Year, offensive weapon when it comes down to coming off the bench and getting buckets. They had a backup center and Whiteside. And what happened to the Utah Jazz? They failed. Every single time they got to the postseason, they failed. Think about not this past season, but the season before that. They lost to the Los Angeles Clippers when Kawhi went down. And look, credit to Paul George and Reggie Jackson and Pat Bev. They did their thing, but they were not the better team. And Donovan Mitchell was supposed to take them home. We saw what Steph Curry did. We saw what Jason Tatum had to do when he had to go into Milwaukee and down 3-2 and go drop 46 on Giannis to even the series up to bring a Game 7 back home. And when I look at the top tier players around the NBA and guys that I would want to build a franchise with, Donovan Mitchell name is not in that category.
Can you build?
And that's my point. And not to mention, how many years he been in the league so far? 5 years. And since he got into the league, every year he started missing more and more games. And his first rookie year, he played 71 games. Second year, 77. Then it's the third year, he only appeared in 69 games. Fourth year, 53 games. Last year, 67 games. And the team, Utah was a good enough team that they held it down so that when they got in there, they can get into the playoffs. And this is what I mean by if we got rid of all the players that we about to get rid of, and even if they're talking about, there is rumors that the New York Knicks is talking about trading for Westbrook, and that's if we get Donovan Mitchell, that we would trade for Westbrook. And this is my thing. Once we start making these trades, we're not gonna have players that help him. It's not gonna be a team that just as good as Utah was when he couldn't get them out of the second round. So this is what I mean how the Knicks is doomed. Like if we make this move for Donovan Mitchell, in the short run, we're gonna have a good team. We're going to have a good team. But what will the future bring? Like the long run, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, we make this move, we will be in the lottery, even with Jalen Brunson, because Jalen Brunson is a good player, but it's going to shift everything that I want to happen for Jalen Brunson. Let's be real. It's going to move over to Donovan Mitchell. We know RJ is going to be here because Utah don't want to pay him that money, so he's not included in the trade. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. Like everything Danny Ainge is doing right now is smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because Danny Ainge just want the picks. He want to get rid of Donovan Mitchell. He want that salary off there. But if he mentioned RJ Barrett and any talks, it's just to throw my man Leon Rose off his game. And I think Leon Rose is smart. I'm hoping Leon Rose is smart enough to realize that. And now just think about this. Can the Knicks build a franchise around Donovan Mitchell? No. If Utah couldn't do it, what makes you think the New York Knicks can do it? I know I came in a little late on that, but just think about it. Can we build that? Can we build a franchise? Utah haven't done it, and they had the players to do it. They had the players at least get them to the Western Conference Finals, or at least out of the second round, and they couldn't do it. Donovan Mitchell, He's not going to be there all season. And when he get here, we're going to have to get rid of everybody. So we're going to be rebuilding. I mean, Utah might just come out and start making a play and look good with our players. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong. I want Donovan Mitchell on. I would like to say, I'm going to say I would like to have him on his team, but not at all costs. I don't want to give up Obi Toppin. I don't want to give up Manu quickly. And I know a lot of y'all said we have to give up something, but we don't, because like I said, if you think about it, just like Big Perk this guy finished talking about, Danny Ainge had come to the same conclusion in his mind. This is why Danny Ainge was ready to move on. He's ready to put a hold. He already seen that team can get done. He got I think, I'm telling you right now, you can in the comment section and say, like I said, this is an opinion, and this is my opinion, so I value your opinion as well. That's why I want you to hit me in the comment section. I think Gobert deal is a great deal, but I don't think the Utah Jazz can get a good as deal they got for Gobert. I'm just being maybe if they had tried to move Mitchell before they moved Gobert, yeah. But now that deal is set in stone, nobody want to pay that price. And if they do, they're a fool. I mean, Miami Heat was never an option. This is what Leon Rose got to know. If Utah don't want to take on RJ Barrett for they pay that salary, they damn sure don't want to take on Tyler Hero. They don't want to take on that salary. So that was never an option. And you didn't hear about too many other teams wanting in on Donovan Mitchell other than the Miami Heat. So the Knicks are in a perfect position to walk away. Okay, we'll give up maybe 3 picks and Rose or Fourier, or even try to work Randall in more of a way to make it work out. But we can walk away with most of our picks and our whole young core. Leon Rose just have to be smart, because right now, whether he know it, whether the world of basketball and all the people that's talking this chatter, we have the upper hand. And the narrative that's rolling around, ESPN, First Take, whatever, is giving the upper hand to Utah. But if Leon Rose is as smart as I hope he is, he has to realize that the New York Knicks has the upper hand in this deal. We can walk away from this deal and be all right. We're moving in the right direction. We don't really need this deal. This is not a necessity. This is a luxury right now. And I know a lot of you Knicks fans don't want to believe me, but this is a luxury right now for the New York Knicks. And we don't have to make this deal to be a better team. We can just go down the line and play with the players that we have right now. You know what I'm saying? The worst case scenario, we wind up in the lottery. Maybe we get the 4th or 5th pick, but next year's draft is supposed to be loaded. We just be adding to the pieces. And if we can get rid of Julius Randle, it's just gonna help us with money or whoever we bring in. But I'm gonna be honest with you, as bad as the year Julius Randle had last year, I think he deserved one more year to make it up. I know we hearing reports about if they get him, they're willing to trade for Westbrook, and that would be a salary dump. And I'm not mad at that either. But if you want the Knicks to be something next year, I think we should keep Julius Randle going to the season as is. I'm gonna be honest. We don't have to make any more moves. See what we got right now. How are we going to reach the status of Golden State or Boston or even Milwaukee if we keep trading away our pieces? Keep bringing in pieces of that we've seen that didn't work elsewhere. What makes you think it's going to come here to work? And this is why I don't understand. As good as he is, it didn't work in Utah. If he couldn't get that franchise, and a lot of you going to say the West, but the East got just as better as good as the West in these last few years. So why do you think it's going to make a difference? Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant go over to the Brooklyn Nets. It makes no difference. And if the Nets would have stayed with Dinwiddie and that little cash, I think they would have had a nice little Gerald Levert. But y'all know who I'm talking about. If they would have stayed with that cash, I think the Nets would have been better off than what they are right now. A lot of people going to say, I don't know about, but because y'all only think about star power. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown didn't come in this league as a star. They built that. And that's all I'm asking for you Knicks fans. Give the New York Knicks a chance to build a star. We might have an RJ Barrett. We might have it in Quentin Grimes. We might have it in Obi Toppin. But y'all ready to give all that up for Donovan Mitchell. And y'all already know what Donovan Mitchell was capable of. And y'all know his limitations. That's the point. We know his limitations. Just like Perk said, hell no. All right, man. I'm hoping the New York Knicks make the right decisions. I hope we don't get fleeced in this deal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping a lot of you fans come to your senses. And I'm not even going to say that because, like I said, y'all have your opinions just as well as I have my opinion. I may not agree with some of your opinions. I know a lot of you may not agree with my opinion. But I think going out and getting Donovan Mitchell, it would be good if we don't have to give up our young fellows, our young core. And then we got to see how that works. It would be good. I'm being honest. If we can work out a deal where we don't have to give up our young players, and we can get rid of Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, and some draft picks. Because I'm not mad with the draft picks. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you don't know the future, and you don't know who's gonna be out there. So I would take the risk with the draft pick. But I know what Emmanuel Quickly looking like he's gonna be. I know what Obi Toppin look like he's going to be, and I damn sure know what Grimes looked like. Come on, Grimes had a spectacular summer league. I mean, that championship game was bad, but hey, I knew he was going to have a bad game, one game, whatever. I just was hoping it didn't happen in the championship, and it did. But the New York Knicks would be all right if we don't make this move for Donovan Mitchell. Actually, we'd be headed in the right move. And all these rumors about Leon Rose getting fired, I mean, come on, man. The man is doing what he's supposed to do. He's building a team. But I think if he go out and trade the farm away for Donovan Mitchell, then he ought to be fired. All right, with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.